If you guys have paid attention to what songs are trending the last couple of months, you've probably heard Benson Boone's name. We're going to talk about why people are kind of coming at Benson on TikTok, feeling like he's trying too hard, and they're talking about him being more, I mean, you guys, it's crazy, the conversations that are being had, and we're going to get into why everyone's talking about Benson Boone. So today we're diving into some drama surrounding an artist who has been everywhere lately, Benson Boone. He's been blowing up on TikTok, on the charts, and now in the court of public opinion. People are starting to turn on him a bit. So let's get into what's been said, why it's getting so heated, and what Benson himself had to say in response. So Benson Boone, if you've been on TikTok at all this year and last, you've definitely heard Beautiful Things. It's one of those songs that's exploded online, hit radio, and just totally dominated for a while. But now Benson is teasing his second album and promoting his new song, Mystical Magical. We're seeing this weird shift where the internet, particularly TikTok, is starting to turn on him. So what's going on? Why are people suddenly calling out Benson Boone, accusing him of being inauthentic, and in some cases saying they don't even know why they hate him, they just do? Benson is 22. He got his start in music by briefly appearing on American Idol in 2021, but dropped out early because he didn't want to be boxed in creatively. He didn't want to be that guy from American Idol. And I mean, Benson certainly made the right move because people know him from his hit songs now and hardly even know that he was ever even on American Idol. But as his music became more mainstream, especially after Beautiful Things went viral, people started picking apart this image of his. A lot of criticism stemmed from this idea that he's trying too hard to seem deep, emotional, and relatable, but it just doesn't feel real. People say that he feels manufactured like some industry plant, that the raw emotional aesthetic he's going for is being overproduced, overpolished, and in the end just kind of inauthentic. Benson is also made doing flips on stage his big thing, and he's worn very colorful pieces and onesies, and people feel like he's just doing too much or like trying to be like Harry Styles and trying to be something that he's not. It's just not coming off true to him and his personality. Noting that his home and what he wears off stage doesn't exactly match his onstage vibe, which is why people think that he's trying too hard when he's in artist mode, and it's just really not him.
You know how I know that this is not authentic to Benson Boone? And like this vibe, and certainly this. I've never met a man committed to like creative expression and art with just like no trace of like style or home decor or just like anything interesting around. Like not even some like cool, weird like shit from his grandparents, you know? Everything is new and curated generically in a very Airbnb core kind of way. It would work for anything and everyone. Like you can't be 10 toes down that people are being like haters for no reason for hating the way you express yourself, and then have no trace of self-expression or like appreciation of art or even like color. A stylist picked out this outfit. I just don't believe you. You know how I...
Not all of the backlash surrounding Benson has come from him not being authentic in his clothes and promotional posts. Some have brought up religion, noting that he's grown up Mormon and feel like that's translating into his songs somehow. People said, I just learned that Benson Boone is Mormon. It makes so much more sense now. In the description, the video says his music feels like depression. Someone else said you can literally hear the Mormonism in these songs. Just found out Benson Boone is Mormon. How about no more men in pop music? Someone else said you can literally hear the Mormonism in these songs. Now, he addressed his stance on religion to Rolling Stone previously, as they wrote, Benson grew up in the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, and his family was devout. My faith drives everything that I do and my perspective of what life is about. His mom told a local newspaper in a 2017 story about his family's extensive volunteer work. To me, there is nothing more important than strengthening my family and serving other people. That's what brings joy. But currently, Boone said says, pacing around his kitchen, I don't want to be a part of one religion. I have my own opinions. Some are from this religion, some are from this religion, some are from no religion. The break came quietly and early. Growing up, a lot of people at church would talk about these experiences that they've had and these personal revelations and feelings and voices. I never felt it as physically present as they did. And so I was always confused and frustrated. I was always scared to bring that up to people because I just didn't want to accept that. Like, I wasn't feeling what everyone else was feeling. He eventually admitted it to a friend who replied, "Thank goodness, I feel the same way." And some have spoken out on the hate that Benson has been getting, feeling like some of it just doesn't make sense and is a bit ridiculous.
Can we talk about Benson Boone for a second? As someone who doesn't even listen to his music, never heard anything other than the Moonbeam Ice Cream song, the hate and the discourse I've seen online is absolutely insane. And for what? I saw a girl on TikTok make a video that said, Benson Boone doing a backflip is so Mormon coded. What? Were you dropped on your head as a child? What is wrong with you? First of all, what does that even mean? Second of all, when did this whole discourse about being Mormon, like, how is that okay? How is that normalized? It's a religion. Let the weirdos do what they want to do. If they want to be weird, if they want to be religious, who the fuck cares? Again, I do not know this man. I have never been a fan of the music, have never followed it, but it is so weird, the hate that he gets for absolutely no reason. He just debuted. He was on American Idol for like 2 seconds. Give the little man a break. Half you bitches hating on TikTok do not have an ounce of confidence that he has, or a sense of self, or the talent. So unless y'all are better than him, you better sit down.
I'm so sick of opening this app and seeing so much hate around artists and people, and just, you guys are so mean for anyone that does anything. And case in point, Benson Boone, like, the hate is so unnecessary and you guys are being so harsh. And yes, everyone's got their own opinions and you're allowed to not like someone's music or whatnot, but your reasonings for not liking him is just so stupid.
Now, Benson actually responded to some of the hate online. In a TikTok, he said, "If you hate me or my music, at least have a good reason for it. I just read a comment that said, I don't know why I hate Benson Boone, but it feels right." Like, what? How am I supposed to improve after reading that? At least say something valid, like, he low-key just flips everywhere. Can he do anything else? Or even, I just don't like his songs, even though I'm basing my opinion off the only one that I've heard over and over. Super valid. He basically said, if you're gonna hate me, at least have a reason for it, to which some people have also clapped back at this.
So the reason I am giving feedback right now is valid. He does not feel authentic or genuine. That's what I'm saying here. He was wondering why people feel this way, and I've just stated this is why many people feel this way. It does not feel authentic or genuine.
With this whole Benson Boone hate train, I actually used to be Benson Boone neutral. Like, I didn't really listen to his music at all. I thought it was kind of like old Navy music, like maybe something that would have been played in Francesca's when I worked there in high school. It was like ambient music. But then he posted that stupid story where he was like, people can't hate me without a reason. How am I supposed to grow? Grow from what, bestie? Public indifference? Like, people hate recreationally on social media. That's just reality. You could be the best person in the world and people will find reasons to hate you. So nobody owes you an explanation if it's just a vibe that they're getting. And it's probably in your best interest to ignore those people. Only pay attention to the constructive criticism, because there are people that are saying constructive criticism. But what got me from neutral to dislike was the lack of realism in his brain that he thought that this was like an appropriate thing to post on social media.
The whole situation is kind of crazy how big the conversation has gotten surrounding why people don't like him. I think it simply might be because they just feel like they don't know him. I mean, I really think that that girl had that point when she was talking about how his outfits and his clothes are one way on stage and then outside of work, he's dressing completely different. I feel like people just don't really get him, and so it's easy to pick him apart. I don't know, it feels like he's a brand, that he's a company or something, right? I think that's kind of like JoJo Siwa, and I saw someone make this comparison that, you know, JoJo wears these very crazy costumes when she's on stage, and then when she's not on stage, she's not like screaming and she's wearing normal clothes, and that is the JoJo that people like, the raw, real, the authentic. And I think, you know, people really do crave authenticity, and they feel like Benson on stage is not his authentic self. Do I think he should be getting hate for that? No. I just think maybe that is the reason why people aren't connecting with him to like him. But it's a whole big conversation. I certainly want to know if you guys are listening to Mystical Magical, if you are a fan of Benson or not. Let me know your thoughts on this whole thing in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.